Hey everyone, Big Seven here, back for another BBL SuperCoach video. We're on the verge of the final round of the year. I'm currently sitting at around about 1700 rank, which is pretty poor by my standards, but we'll see if we can make a late push into the top 1000. It seems pretty unlikely, would need a bit of luck to go our way. But yeah, so this week scored 736, which was above average. Went up about 800 spots. The week before, I think I scored around about 1,000-ish. And yeah, the players I had last week actually did okay. But yeah, I decided to captain Ty last week, who unfortunately scored 20 in his first game and was rested for the second game. But I think the rest of the team, apart from him, was fine. Week before, I brought in Bartlett, Munro, and Salzman as a loophole. Got rid of Chowdhury. That was not ideal. Got rid of him even though he had a double just because I didn't think I was going to use him, so it seemed a bit pointless. He damaged me pretty severely last week, but it is what it is. And then this week, traded out Inglis, Munro, and Jai Richardson. Richardson out for the tournament, but man, he's been so underwhelming this year. Munro, who won't play any more games, and Inglis, who was just a player that's kind of topped out in price. Brought in Akil Hussain, 209k. He was good against the Stars. Happy to have him. And then I brought in Sean Abbott and Tanvi Sanger. Sanger I didn't field last week, but he was there in preparation for the double this week, which is the Sydney Thunder, the only team to have a double. But this last game against the Renegades is in danger of being washed out, so it could end up being a single. And so with that in mind, and just with the way the Thunder have been going recently, I'm not too fussed on trying to maximize the amount of Thunder players in my team like I have been earlier in the year. I do have Sanger, which is good. Salzman is a loophole, so he'll end up off the field anyway. But it would be reckless to go too thin on the Thunder. And a player that definitely has to come in is Daniel Sams. And yeah, I need someone to captain who has a double, and I think Sams is the clear best option from the Thunder. Will bowl his full complement of overs. The way the Thunder batting has gone, he's a decent chance to bat in both games, and only 193k, so pretty good value on Samsy there. And then, yeah, so that would leave me with only Sams and Sanger. I think it would be irresponsible to go without a batsman. So the player I trade out is Spencer Johnson. And yeah, I could go for Hales. I guess he's okay. I'm going to go for David Warner, though. Just a little bit cheaper. And Hales can be pretty up and down, so maybe he could be the better option. Warner didn't look too bad in the first game against the Sixers, although after the power play, the Thunder were shut down pretty comprehensively. I guess Warner's T20 style is to bat through the whole innings and explode towards the end. So, yeah, didn't manage to pull that off successfully last game, but we'll see what he does against Adelaide Strikers at Manuka Oval. And that should be a batter-friendly game. Normally, Manuka Oval produces a fairly flat wicket. The game at Showgrounds is a very interesting one because I don't even remember what the Thunder scored in that game where they played at the Showgrounds. I don't think it was it 130. Yeah, it was. It was against the Scorchers. They ended up on 137. Scorchers chased down 140, but yeah, that pitch just it looked like a minefield. And with a number of wet days in Sydney as well coming up, can't see that pitch really improving that much. So it should be a very bowler-friendly wicket. And so that leaves me with. So I'm going to put Sams into the batting lineup. Vice captain will be on Sam's. I'll use the loophole just in case weather is deteriorating for that second game. Save Sam's only scored 20 at Manica Oval. I'd be tempted to put the captain on someone like a Sean Abbott or Hardy potentially playing in that third game. Ideal world, Thunder would play both games and there'd be no rain affected games, but we don't live in an ideal world. And so I've got one trade left. The plan for that is to use this Ellis and Webster loophole. And essentially what I'm going to try and do is take the higher of the two scores. And then I will trade out Fraser McGurk. And so, yeah, I'm tossing up between a few Sixers players. They'll be fairly low owned. So try and make up a bit of ground by going for some pod players. Site's pretty slow. Lockout's just lifted, so that might be the cause of it. Only have Jack Edwards. Don't really want him. His role has been worse. So I think Dorcas is a decent option to get some cheap wickets towards the back end of the innings. But also Hayden Kerr. He bowled the 20th over, and I think he was listed at 7. I think he was behind Jack Edwards in the batting lineup. So still a decent spot. And if he can bowl the 20th over again, then he's pretty value at 151k. Current out for the tournament, so there's definitely a spot for him in the lineup. Dorsh's 5.3, Kerr 4.1. Probably just lean towards Kerr for now. And essentially what that enables me to do is I see what Ellis and Webster do in the second game of the round. So say if Webster scores 50 and Ellis scores 30, then I would keep my team as is with Kerr in the bowling line. If Ellis scores more than Webster, then I can swap Walter and Kerr around. And probably going to take this Sam's vice captain. But we'll see. I mean, stranger things have happened. So we'll see how that lands for this week. And this is how the team's going to line up. Hopefully not too many Thunder players go off that I don't own. Hales is probably the one that scares me the most at Manica Oval. But he also has to play a game at Showgrounds, so hopefully it isn't too bad. Chris Green, not worried about him at all. He hasn't taken more than 1 wicket in any games this year, so Not worried about him. The Thunder cartel of pace bowlers, you just don't know who they're going to pick out of Sandhu, Hatcher, and McAndrew. They tend to pick two of them. I don't want to play that rotation guessing game. Happy to just go with the three Thunder players that I've got. And for the most part, the players I've got as replacements, maybe with the exception of Webster, I think they're all capable of going 100 plus. So we'll see how we go for this week. Try and make a late charge into the top 1,000, which would be a bit of a minor miracle considering the amount of dud captains I've had and poor decisions and Jai Richardson trying to take my team down into the five-figure range. But look, even despite the worse performance than usual, it's been decent in a way not to have to be completely fully invested in results and you know things like even today. I think Bartlett bowling. I forget who he was bowling to. I think it was someone like Hobson. Hits it to Tall Paul on the boundary, who just isn't able to rearrange his tall frame to be able to catch the ball inside the rope and then throw it up to himself. He did the first part and then kind of stumbled on the way back in, and things like that. That's a 30-ish point swing just off that one play, maybe even more than that. Depending on three wicket bonuses and all and economies and all that. But either way, it's been good in a way not to have to sweat too hard about that kind of stuff. But in saying that, I mean, 2023-24 will be a bit of a blip on the record. Unless I can somehow get into the top 1,000. I've managed to do top 1,000 in back-to-back years before this one. 2022-23, it was kind of around that 400 mark and then faded a bit late on because I went without Matt Short to try and break into the top 100. And then the year before, Maxwell absolutely destroyed me in the last round of the year to take me outside top 100. So in a way, it's been good not to have to sweat that stuff too hard. But in saying that, I'll come back next year and definitely strive to be at least contending for top 100, if not better. So thanks for everyone that's been following along, watching. I hope you guys have all had fantastic seasons. I wish you luck if you are in Cash League finals or striving to be top 100 or around the cash positions, which should be top 11. And I'll see you all back for next year. Thanks very much for watching.